Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you have a great day. So, my topic for this afternoon is about variance. So, what is variance? When we say variance, it is another measure of variability, which is the square of standard deviation. In other words, variance is the square of standard deviation. So, when I look at the meaning of variance in the dictionary, it says there that variance is the fact of being different, inconsistent, and divergent. So, if we differentiate variance from standard deviation, variance is expressed in much larger units such as meters squared, while standard deviation is expressed in the same unit as personal units such as meters or minutes. Okay, to widely understand what variance is, one of the sources of variance is the difference between individuals. It says here that the difference between individuals. So we all know that we have different personalities, just like in the classroom. We have different cognitive skills, we have different personality, we have different talents and abilities. Just like the saying, no two individuals are alike. In a sibling, even though you have different parents, but then as you grow up, you have different siblings, have different personalities, personality traits, and talents. So that is a variance. So I come up with a quote that do not compare yourself with other person, because there is always someone who is greater and lesser than you. Okay, so that is your variance. Okay, let's go now to the computation. Variance from ungrouped data using machine formula. Okay, so variance from ungrouped data is applied when the number of cases or our sample size is less than 30. Just like our example here in the table, we have only 20 sample size or 20 students. It does not reach to more than 30. It does not reach to 30 rather. So there are two methods in getting the variance from ungrouped data. These are the machine formula and the working formula, but in my report, I will focus on the machine formula. Okay, before we start, I will show you the symbol of the formulas that we will be using on the machine formula. Okay, when we say CF, it means it's a correction factor. When this symbol, it means sum of each score, and is the number of cases or our sample size. Later on, we will discuss this through this table. And then SD squared is the variance. This symbol is the sum of squared x, and CF correction factor, okay, and n number of cases. Okay, step 1. Multiply each score by itself to get x squared. So in our algebra, we remember that when we saw a squared side, this means that we will multiply the number by itself. Okay, so just like this, this is the computation of variance from ungrouped data using machine formula in an 80-item test in English taken by 20 teacher education students. So these are the number of students, total of 20. Okay, and these shows their scores. Okay, as I observe, this table is arranged from highest to lowest. Okay, so student 1 obtained a perfect score of 80. So you will multiply 80 times 80 is equals to 6,400. Student 2 obtained a score of 79. So, 79 times 79 is equals to 6,241. Student number 3 got 78 score. So 78 times 78, so the product is 6,084. So just repeat the same step until you reach the last sample of this table. Okay, now look for the sum of x to get sum of squares. Okay, now after it has been given the scores here, you will multiply all the scores to get the sum of x, or the sum of score. Okay, you will add this, and then this is now our sum. Next, add the results in step 1 to find this is the sum of squared x. So now, let's go to this formula. CF, correction factor, is equals to sum of x. So, 1,417. 1,417, and it has a squared side. So, you will multiply 1,417 by itself. You will divide it by the number of cases, which is the 20. So 1,417 times 1,417 is equals to 2,007,889. Divided by 20, because we have 20 students, the correction factor is 100,394.45. So remember this. And then solve for correction factor by using formula 6.4 as follows. So we already solved it. And then step 5 is we will go to this formula. By the way, this is the fixed formula for machine formula. Remember this. So, the variance is equals to, this sign represents the sum of the squared, sum of squares of each score. So, we will add all this, the obtained from the score that we multiply by itself. We will add all this one, and the total is 101,123. And then minus 100,394.45. Where did we get this? It is from here, correction factor. So, divided by 20, because we have 20 students, minus 1. It is fixed, minus 1. Then, the answer for this is 728.55 divided by 19. So, it became 19 because 20 minus 1 is equals to 19. And our variance is now 38.34474. I have here another example for another table. So, suppose these are the scores of 10 singers, obtained scores from their judges in a singing contest. Okay, so we have 10 singers here. So, the machine formula is applied because in our, as I have said earlier, that it is applicable in the less than 30 number of cases. So, we have here 10 singers. And these are their scores. Okay, now, let's take a step one by one so that you will fully understand. Okay, so, how to get the x, the squared, the x squared, it's 95 times 95 is equals to 9,025. 93 times 93 is equals to 8,649. 92 times 92 is equals to 8,464. 90 times 90 is equals to 8,100. 88 times 88 is equals to 7,744. 87 times 87 is equals to 7,569. And 86 times 86 is equals to 7,396. 85 times 85 is equals to 7,225. 83 times 83 is equals to 6,889. And lastly, 81 times 81 is equals to 6,561. So, when you add all these numbers, it will give the sum of 77,622. And when you add all their scores, it will give you the sum of 880. Now, let's solve for the correction factor so that we will be able to solve easily the variance. Okay, we will get this. Where we'll get this? We get this from here, the total scores. Okay, so 880, you will multiply it by itself, divided by how many? 10, because we have 10 singers. So it's equals to 77,000 rather 440 divided by 10. So our correction factor, you will divide this by 10, and I will oh no, 700, this one answers 774,400 divide 10. This correction factor gives us the 77,440. So, this one is wrong. I'm sorry, my apology. Okay, so I'll repeat. 880 is obtained from the sum of scores divided by 10. So, 880 divided times 880 is equals to 774,400 divided by 10. So, if you will divide this, the answer is 77,440. So, this is now our correction factor. Now, let's go here. Where can we obtain this? In a total of, so 77,622 minus the correction factor of 77,440 divided by here. Okay, so when we minus this, it will give us 182 divided by 9. So our SD now is 20.2. So that is easy as that in solving. So guys, I hope you understand my report and have a good day, everyone. God bless.